the technology. Better, stronger, faster.
Welcome to the Thunder Basin Railroad Technology Series. In this video, we're going to talk about building a scale for the loading tipple on the Thunder Basin Railroad Thunder Hole Mine. You can see underneath the car that there is a space to put a load cell such as this with its control board, which is basically a beam, and one side is secured and the other side is allowed to flex. One of the most fundamental engineering lessons to learn is that in materials, which deals with stress and strain. When a material is stressed, it will stretch. And if it has elastic properties, it will stretch linearly between stress and strain. Above the yield point, it will start to deform permanently. We will only use the part in the linear section. In the early 1800s, a phenomenon was discovered that if a piece of copper was stretched, the resistance changed, and when it was compressed, the resistance changed again. This principle has been developed into what is commonly called today strain gauges, and they measure the change in deformation in the steel they're bonded to. In our application, we're going to be using a cantilever beam using 4 strain gauges, which is called a full bridge. These gauges are applied to the top and bottom of a beam, and then by hooking up an electronic circuit to it, we can measure the strain that occurs on the top and bottom of the beam. And from this, we can determine what the force is to balance the beam. Attaching the load cell under the track and fixing it at one end solid and letting the track sit on the other end, as cars go across the track and increase load, this will be picked up by the strain gauges. Now we'll take a look at each part and how it fits in to the entire electronic operation, the load cell and the board. This is the schematic, which shows how the strain gauges are wired up to the converter board and from there to the Arduino Nano. The Nano is hooked up to the converter board, and the converter board is hooked up to the load cell. Those are the only 3 components included. Bending of the load cell is what gives the signal to the converter board, which is then given to the Arduino, which is then programmed to calibrate the output to go to this screen. First, we get a welcome screen, and then it goes to the tipple hole mine weight. And each car, as it goes through the tipple, will get its 0 weight and get its loaded weight. And by keeping track of that, I'll know the train weight. Thanks for watching. More videos to come later. Thank you.